G'day folks. Well, it's my birthday today. Yeah, I've turned the big 49, so 50 next year. Not getting any younger, but feeling quite good, folks. So, had a good day and had a beer with my son tonight, which was nice. Yeah, well, we had a great weekend. A fantastic weekend, guys. I don't know, she's bloody water methanol played up on me. That was one thing I sort of was a bit annoyed about. I think it's happening in the control box because we're getting power into it, but she's not triggering on. And I sort of picked it up. I think it might have been the second race. It was in the wet. No, the first race, sorry. The first race was in the wet. And yeah, I noticed that the light wasn't coming on. And so I sort of couldn't really, in those other couple of vids I put up, I really couldn't get into it hard. Because it did dry out. And we had a real chance there to, well, I had a chance to really get into it, you know, and I was really keen. Those back arms that I've done, guys, I haven't sort of talked much about that, but yeah, that's unbelievable, that modification I did on the top arms. Had a full load of fuel in it, never upset it one bit, you know. I've got all that pinion angle trouble that I've had, that's all gone. I feel I still need to nose it down just a bee's whisker, maybe a turn or two, and I think it'll be perfect. Because under really hard boost, once you've got the revs up a little bit, it's very minuscule compared to what it was, but you can still slightly feel it just, and I'm only being really fussy, so I think just a couple of turns to nose it down will be perfect. Yeah, so look, it went really well. It stayed really cool, folks. It stayed at about 180. That was as hot as it got while I was circulating. It was around 25 or 6 degrees down there. It was very humid. We had a nice sort of breeze pick up in the afternoon, but that's awesome. Fixed all that, so we've got no issues with that at the minute. But I'm just disappointed that my little water methanol never kicked in. I ended up going to 14 pound a few times there. So it goes to show you guys that how good remount turbos are. You know, especially with the charge pipe, the length of charge pipe I'm running acts as an intercooler. And I'm just so thankful too that I never pulled any fuel out of it, because if I'd have trimmed fuel back to compensate for the water methanol, which I planned on doing, it would have turned a bit ugly, I reckon. I would have pushed a gasket. So I was very thankful at that time that I hadn't touched the jetting of the carby. So we'll get to the bottom of it, we'll fix it, no big deal. Now, I didn't mention too, there was one other thing. It was the MSD box. That last time I took it out, it was overheating and getting hot and cutting out and then coming back on. No issues. Checked it. Mind you, I didn't go back to back on my racing, so I did have a little chance to come in, but when I came in, I checked it, it was just warm. So obviously we're getting good airflow through it, it's dissipating the heat, it's not a build-up. The way it was with that other lid on it, it was just trapping all the heat. I'm guessing MSD designed it so you can put it in the engine bay. So you've probably got a little bit more airflow in there, but in hotter conditions, more dust. So, you know, you may get away with it. But where I've mounted it under the dash of the car, on the glove box, you're not getting much airflow. So by opening it up, it's creating, you know, you're just getting more airflow, obviously getting rid of the heat better. So that's a win in that. In my book, so fixing that was fantastic. So, look guys, I'll tell you now, I've really got it to where I'm very happy with it now. I've got a few little things I sort of want to do with it, but as far as, look, I had a comment I'll get off track here a little bit. I had a comment on a guy who was wanting to know the diff ratios and what gear changes I change, what speed I change or revs I change my gearing, my gears, like going up a gear. And look, really guys, at the end of the day, it's only really starting to dawn on me that the gear ratio is actually pretty good for Simmons. And see, if I go taller gears, what's going to happen is, because the turbo V8s, they produce a lot of torque, what it's going to do, it's going to really load this gearbox up. And it's going to load up that converter. So we're going to put more strain on it physically, and we're going to create a little bit more heat. And I think at the end of the day, this gear ratio now is probably spot on for the two tracks in the state. I can sort of bump the rev limit up on this to around sort of 6,800. I could go to 7,000 if I really wanted to, but around 6,800, and that'll yield me around, say, 230 kilometres an hour. That's plenty fast enough around the sweeper. So I don't think it's really under geared, to be honest. You don't really want to be lugging the motor, stressing it too much. Well, not so much the motor. It's not going to worry the motor by lugging it or, you know, like creating a lot of torque. It's the transmission that's going to really suffer. So I think keeping extra revs up, making it pull fairly easy is easier on the drivetrain. So we're not going to run into heat issues. That's what I was sort of getting at. All right, gear changes. I'm starting to learn, guys, that short shifting it is really nice, because I'm finding if I tend to start to build a little bit too much boost in second gear and then go into top, it gets a little bit too aggressive, and it's really harsh change too. So I'm finding now, if I'm feeling that spool starting to come off, pop it straight into top, you can really feel it load up, and it just takes off. So I think that's something I'm really going to have to focus on, is short shifting. As soon as I come out and it starts to spool in second, pop it into top, and she sort of just takes off. So like I said, that's just something I'm going to have to condition myself to do. And I think really at the end of the day, that's going to be the way to really improve my lap times. Stay away from second gear. Don't get the revs up too much, because it's just going to bust in the wheel spin and carry on. And it's really harsh, like I said, from second to third. So yeah, it's just these things I'm learning as I'm sort of driving. Smooth. I tell you what, guys, to be quick down there, you've got to be smooth. You've really got to leave your braking late. You've got to come out of your corners very smooth, you know, and not get out of shape. As soon as you're spinning the wheels, braking traction, you're losing time. And there's many a time there on the previous videos you've seen where I've got a bit out of shape or started to wheel spin, trying to get grip, and other cars have just gone, they've taken off. So you're losing seconds, you know, 3, 4, 5 seconds by the time you gather yourself and get going. So it's all learning, and I'm really enjoying it, guys. I love it. I love it. I think this circuit racing is fantastic. So yeah, that's where the car's standing at the minute. It's really running well though, other than that. Like, the brakes are fantastic. Never had any brake fade down there whatsoever. So I feel I can really lean on them brakes a lot harder. The grip's the biggest letdown at the minute on this car. It's shocking grip, it really is. Even in the dry, not all the other cars are running circuit slicks down there, so I'm probably the only one who've got street tyres on, to be honest. So it's something I know I've got to address. But at the minute, guys, there's still plenty of meat on the tyres, and I just can't bring myself to throwing these ones out. And it's teaching me to drive too, guys. It's teaching me that limit. It's a good thing in one way, because I'm fighting that traction all the time, and I'm finding the limit. I'm really starting to learn the limit on these tyres. And if she starts to cut out, you know, I'm having to be this traction control. So I think it's teaching me a good car handling with the setup now. So of course, once you go to some really good tyres, you know, you're going to be naturally faster. But for now, I think it's teaching me how to drive this car to the limit. So that's okay. That'll happen in time, guys. So, it's all good. The trailer, it's unbelievable, folks. It really is. It consumed my life, guys. It really did. It took a lot of time. Like, I wrote in the comments, it's cost me around 9 grand for the trailer. And I'm guessing now we're talking 7 to 8 weeks worth of work. So it just completely got out of control. But I'm so thrilled with it. It's just so satisfying. So yes, a lot of work, but at the end of the day, I've got something to keep for the rest of my life. I look after it. I've still got to do little bits to get it sort of to where I want it. But look, to be honest, it's one of the best little projects I've taken on, bar putting the turbo on this. So it's been a fantastic thing. It tows unbelievably. It was quite windy on the way home. We had actually quite a strong northerly, and it didn't move. There was none of this carry on, you know, like worrying about cars, bloody, or trucks, you know, going the other way. I did notice though, I had actually a cattle truck pass me, and what happened was I was cruising along, I saw him coming up, and I just noticed, or I just felt it, I don't know, just the air difference. It just a little, like I got sucked in a little bit towards him, just ever so slight, you know, but never experienced that before, guys. So trucks running the other way, no, not an issue. Side wind, I didn't even really notice that, but I did notice maybe it just sort of, it sucked a little bit. I just felt like I got sucked into the side of the truck just that little bit. I just touched the wheel, like it was nothing, but yeah, I did feel that. So, but as far as any tank slapping, or what do they call it, bloody tail wagging or whatever, none of that, guys. It's unbelievable. It just tracks like nothing else. So that's an absolute win. I'm just so thrilled with that. So yes, money well spent. And like I said, I've got that for the rest of my life, and yeah, it'll be a great thing in years to come. Alright, well it's just a little vid just to let you know where I'm at and what I'm up to. My next little job, guys, I'm actually going to start pulling this framework off. I'm moving stuff out with my main shed where my car normally parks. I'm actually going to move the trailer across to the far side of the other part of the shed. And yeah, so I'm bringing gear in here, and I'm actually starting the transition. I'll be able to put my car back in there, my trailer tucked away in there as well. Then I can start moving on this framework, leave that wall there and move all this framework across. And then this will probably happen over the Christmas break. I'll start tinkering away and yeah, getting it all ready. Then probably around March, February, March, we'll bring that ute down, get him up on here, and we'll start assessing things and looking at things like that. And because I'm sort of quite keen on getting a little start, having it parked in here, and keeping moving on with it, guys. So great times ahead. I've got a few things I want to do with this. I've actually got some really good stuff I want to show you that I'm going to do to the car. They're only little jobs, but they're very interesting ones, guys. So, alright, it's just an update to let you know that the Griff's still kicking, still enjoying life, and it's all good, folks. Catch you later.